right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. I've got a couple of interesting stories for you guys today. The first story that I've got for you guys today, a lot of people are talking about this maybe budding rivalry between Logan Franklin and Ramon Dino. Now, this started from an appearance that Logan did on Fouad Abiad's podcast, where Logan was talking about his top 5 picks for the Classic Physique Olympia, and he mentioned Ramon Dino as being the 5th man if he's able to make weight. But Logan's exact quote was, "I do not believe for 1 second that Ramon is going to make weight." I'm just going to go ahead and roll the clip for you guys here, and then we'll talk about Ramon's response.
5th guy, I want to say Ramon.
Okay.
But at the same time, I do not want to say Ramon because I do not believe 1 second Ramon is going to make weight.
I know, right? He looks fucking.
And that he has been making weight. There's something fishy. But I don't think he's making weight. And I'm going to watch
What the fuck does that mean? You
I'm
think
just saying, I don't want to see him get taller randomly because
he's gonna just grow. He's gonna grow the day of the show.
Yeah. So if Ramon makes weight,
okay, he's in the top 5.
He's in the top 5.
So Ramon responded in the form of a comment where he said, "Anyone who performs well in the top 5 is a favorite, but sorry, you know it all. And I've always made weight. I could have had difficulty before, but I've always made weight. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on stage, right? But okay, you're the know-it-all. Good luck getting there too." I believe referring to the top 5. Now, it is worth pointing out that at last year's Olympia, Logan did place 13th, and Ramon was 4th. So in all fairness, on paper, Logan does have a long way to go to get into that top 5. However, Logan looked nothing like how he looked at the Arnold Classic this year at the Olympia. And from what we've seen from Logan at the Florida Pro and the Arnold, it looks like the package that he's going to be bringing to the Olympia is significantly better, like by a long shot, than what we saw from him last year. And I will say, I think this is interesting because, honestly, in the absence of Chris Bumstead and now also Urs Kalasinski, there's not really any rivalry within the Classic Physique division. Because if you really think about it, the rivalry was just whoever versus Chris. Whoever was the runner-up guy. It was Breon versus Chris. Then it was Terrence versus Chris. Then it was Ramon versus Chris. And then it was Mike versus Chris. Those were the rivalries. You didn't really have amongst the other placings, whether it was Urs, Terrence, Ramon, Breon. They didn't really have, Mike, they didn't really have a vicious rivalry between any of them. They were all kind of friendly because they were all really chasing Chris, not necessarily trying to beat each other, but I think everybody was just kind of had their eyes on Chris. So I kind of think this back and forth is good because I do feel like there's going to be something missing, obviously, at the Olympia this year in Classic Physique. And that thing is Chris. But also with Chris being gone, that in addition to the fact that he's not going to be there and he brings this massive star power to the show, you also kind of have a vacuum in place of Chris that there really isn't a rivalry. It's not, oh, is this guy finally going to beat Chris? We know there's going to be a new Mr. Olympia crowned at the Classic Physique Olympia this year, but there's really not any storyline. You have a bunch of guys who were at one point second to Chris going head-to-head, but none of them really interact. None of them really have beef. None of them really have a rivalry. None of them have any drama. I think really one of the only storylines going into the show this year is Mike, second place last year at the Olympia, winning the Arnold. On paper, he's the favorite to win this year. I think the other storyline is what is Logan going to be able to do at the Olympia this year after, he brought his best physique ever. Let's be real about it, to the Arnold Classic Ohio. How much is he going to be able to improve upon that 13th place placing at the Olympia last year? Those are really the only two storylines we have going into Classic Physique. I mean, you've got the comeback of Terrence Ruffin. He had a good comeback year this year, winning those 2 big shows. You've got Breon Ainsley at 45. He's coming back. I really don't think Breon is going to be in contention to win the title, but there's also that. So I think this kind of rivalry is healthy. And as far as Ramon, I mean, in all fairness, I don't think Logan was being out of line or disrespectful. I think a lot of people agree with what Logan said. Not necessarily to say that a lot of people think Ramon's not going to make weight, or maybe inferring that Ramon, somehow cheated to make weight. But I think in all fairness, a lot of people probably are surprised every year to see Ramon make weight, because we see these crazy off-season updates of Ramon, and not even necessarily off-season, but like prep updates far away from the show, where he's weighing, 260 plus, and he's like 35 pounds over, like crazy amounts of weight over his weight limit, but he's peeled. He's in incredible shape at like 265, 260. And he's got to cut like 30 pounds to get down to that classic physique weight limit to make weight. So I think it is, in all fairness, surprising to people that Ramon is in that kind of shape at even 250 plus. I believe his weight cutoff is 227. And I think that's really what Logan's point was. And I think a lot of people probably agree with that it is surprising to see Ramon be able to make weight where, he's peeled at 260. And he's got to be 227 on stage. That's the up to including 6 foot category. And I know he's not over 6 foot. And I think, to be fair, that's also why Ramon has said he intends to one day go to open. I think Ramon also knows that classic physique is difficult for him to make weight. Again, peeled at 260. So I think even by Ramon's own admission, he feels like he would be better off unrestricted by a weight limit. So I feel like the point that Logan was making was actually fair. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Who's going to place higher at the Olympia, Logan Franklin or Ramon Dino? And let me know what you guys think about the rivalry in the comment section down below. Now, next up in the news, I wanted to do a preview video for this weekend's Europa Pro Germany, and maybe we'll have some more updates to talk about tomorrow. We've got a couple today, starting with Quint Beastwood. Now, if these are recent, it would be one day out. Quinton doesn't really specify in the post. They were posted today. But he does tag some Italian photographers in the post, so it's possible that maybe he was still in Italy when they were taken, and maybe they're a couple days old, maybe they're before the show. But he posted them today, and these are the latest updates from him. But as far as everybody else goes, I haven't seen anything recent from Urs except for the side chest, that really quick video that we talked about the other day, and really not anybody else posting updates going into the Europa show going into the Europa show that competed in Italy. I guess because we just saw them on stage and they figure we don't need to, which may be true. I mean, I think the results are probably going to be pretty similar this time around. And we did get one confirmed recent physique update from Marc Hector, who this was his first workout in Germany, posted a day ago. So that would have been him 2 days out from the show. Marc was third at the Italy show. And Marc looked incredible at the Italy show. I think to the point where you could have made an argument, for Marc even placing ahead of Quint Beastwood, just based on how good of shape Marc was in, especially his upper body, deep striations in the chest, drier, I think, than Quinton in certain poses in the upper body. Marc just looked great there. And again, Sergio Oliva Jr. will not be returning to compete at this Germany show. So he's going to be the only guy missing from that top 5 in Italy that's coming to this show. I think the results, here's the thing. I was looking at this update. This is Urs before the Italy show. So this is not recent. It was posted recently, but this is not before the Germany show. I really just think that if Urs replicates what he did in Italy at the Germany show, replicates or better, I think he's going to win again. Because I think you got to ask yourself, why did Urs win in Italy? And I think it really comes down to that one word, conditioning. And if he's able to do that again, I think it's more likely than not that Quinton will not be able to match his conditioning. And if that's truly what gave Urs the edge at the Italy show, which I believe it is, in addition to his shape and his added size, but I think conditioning is really what it came down to. I think if Urs does it again, I think there's a good chance that Quinton won't be able to match it and will have the same result. Because, look, I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen Quinton bring a level of condition that's on par with what we saw from Urs this weekend. We've never seen Quinton do it. I mean, these past 3 shows that Quinton has done, it's the best Quinton has ever looked, but, bar none by far. But it's still not on that level to where Urs is at. And I don't know if in 1 week's time we're going to be able to see that. So I feel like we're going to see a repeat. I think 1, 2, 3, Urs, Quint, and Marc. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hopefully tomorrow we might have, a more recent update of Urs or Quinton or, something else to talk about in the way of an Italy Pro, or I'm sorry, a Europa Pro Germany preview. But today, kind of a slow day in bodybuilding news. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys, appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.